10-minute delay as well, guys, just in case you didn't know. But yeah, getting back to the game, it looks like a pretty standard aggro shaman here against freeze mage by the looks of it. So,
seemed like a freeze mage indeed.
have you had much experience in this?
Decent.
Or... Sorry. Go on.
With the freeze mage, yeah, I tried it. Not my cup of tea, so I didn't really stick to it. But it's definitely fun to do.
Yeah, no, it is a fun. It's definitely a fun deck to play. There's a lot of like careful decision making you have to make as the freeze mage, especially against like an really aggressive deck like an aggro shaman. So it'll be interesting to see what plays we see here.
I'm actually really excited about the aggro shaman because I honestly really love aggro decks. So I'm looking forward to the plays Gianni has in his pocket. So we shall see.
You're a bit of an aggro player yourself, then, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I used to enjoy a bit of aggro, but I think I've always actually been kind of more leaning towards the control side of things. But pretty nice plays so far for both sides. Arguably, Joker's not got the best hand in some ways, but this Cone of Cold I think looks pretty nice. However, he's going to be too sad that he won't be able to freeze all of the minions here, but it does delay, a fair bit of damage.
It does, yeah. It's a nice way to slowly build that control over the board as well as a freeze mage, because you need that in the end point to be able to do the final lethal damage to the enemy.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So you don't get yourself down too quickly, else you won't get to the point where you can actually use your power to the full potential.
Yeah. No, and that's it, and that's rightly so. I mean, looking at Gianni Druid's hand right now, I mean, he's some pretty big tunnel trogs. Of course, the 6-1, if it gets pinged, which it could get pinged here, which I imagine you will.
Most likely accuracy, yeah, indeed. Not really worth first Nova yet, at least, because he can still fill up the board pretty well, the Shaman, Gianni. So, and he's also waiting for the Doomsayer. He really needs those Doomsayers to be able to do something against that, because so far he only has the first Nova and nothing else to clear the board with, except for one Ice Lens. So,
yeah, that's it. I mean, you can see here as well, obviously, with the Frost Nova, it can do work freezing the board. I mean, there is actually 9 points of damage on this board right now alone. So that means that, essentially Gianni Druid's just looking for 10 points to go for lethal. So, double abusive, that means you're only then 6 away. So Joker's obviously understanding that he's getting pretty low, and he can't be playing around for too much longer. So the question here for Gianni Druid is, do I actually just kill off this Acolyte here, perhaps trade in the Taunt Golem, and then play perhaps something like Abusive and Leper Gnome and just keep pushing for more face damage, which I would personally really like.
I think if you kind of put some pressure on Joker, he has a really good standpoint in this matchup, because he draws a card right now, but he's forced to do that trade with the 2-1, which he won't kill. He can still ping it one more time if he wanted to and just first Noah everything, for example, because he didn't get his Doomsayer. But there is the Blizzard. That could be also really helpful at this point to clear it. But I think he's gonna go for the first Noah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Frost Nova does actually still freeze the board, and he gets to play the Ice Block with this. Of course, at 8 health, you've got to understand something like a Lava Burst and Crackle, which we know Gianni Druid has in his hand, will actually kill him no matter what. Because the Crackle is guaranteed to hit at least 3 damage, and then Lava Burst for 5, so that is 8 damage. So right now, Gianni Druid has lethal, so if this Ice Block doesn't go down, then he is actually dead next turn.
He has to count with that though, so it's a good play there.
Yeah. So that was really well played from Joker there. He understands that the 8 damage can easily come in, even with something like a Doomhammer into Rockbiter as well. That would also be able to pop the damage and kill him basically. So I always feel like the Ice Block was had to be done.
What to do?
So now, what would you do in Gianni Druid's situation here?
If I were Druid, I would probably try to proc that freaking ice block that I suppose he has, because by the plays of Jacob, I would suppose he is a frost mage. So, I mean frost mage, freeze mage.
Yeah.
So I want to get rid of that ice block because there's a very low chance that he has another ice block. He can't play Alexstrasza just yet, so he's really in a checkmate right now, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you can see. Well,
Well, now I can Flame Strike. That's game changing. But for Gianni, it's enough to get a weapon, a Doom Hammer, for example, and he's dead. Or even if he gets.
So there's pretty much almost going to be.
Another
Oh, the
spell.
Flame Juggler lethal.
Oh, damn.
Wow, I think that's the first time I've ever seen a Flame Juggler used for lethal. But that was still well played there from Gianni Druid.
Damn jugglers.
So that is going to be Gianni Druid taking No Mercy up 1-0 against Wonderstag there. So a good start for No Mercy there, getting the Shaman win. Gianni Druid's other class is still Druid, so he's got to be feeling pretty confident that he's going to go through and win and do his part for No Mercy, because of course Druid is arguably, if not the strongest class right now in Hearthstone, so he should be feeling pretty happy with himself and pleased to get that Shaman win out of the way.
I agree with you. I honestly, I really love Druids. I think they are great at doing their combos, at sustaining, being tanky, and everything. So I think Druid is one of like the strongest classes. Although there are many classes with great decks that you can have, but I really like the Druid decks, and I myself I really like to play aggro Druids and mid-range Druids, as well as I was trying to do some of the Elise Druid because I just love Elise. It's so great to feel the power of the legendaries in your hand and in your deck. So I'm really looking forward to his next match.
Yeah, I mean, the elite, going back to the Elise Druid, actually, it's I think the reason why I suppose it wasn't really necessarily picked is because the standard combo Druid is considered to be so strong right now. You know, the fact you can just skip turns and then innovate out a hero, like innovate out a combo and just melt your opponent before they have a chance to do much is just so strong. I mean, I can understand the whole concept of Elise Druid. I mean, Elise is a really strong card in general if you can get the you know, the draw off in time. But even then, people say it's very situational. So I think I prefer it in something like a priest or warrior deck personally myself. But of course, there's, you know, certain cards can work in a lot of decks anyway. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to seeing what deck it's going to be. I imagine it's going to be a standard Druid, like a combo Druid, but we'll have to see, of course, here.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to be Izuel playing as Paladin, and it's going to be Racket playing Priest. So, Priest v Paladin, pretty interesting match, actually, I'd say. So.
Yeah, it's going to be... I wonder what kind of Priest he's going to go, to be honest. Because there's many ways, I don't know. On the Paladin, damn, that's like super sustainable classes and annoying against each other, I think.
Yeah, so...
Of course we go with the Secret Paladin. No surprise.
Yeah, so Secret Paladin is considered so strong right now. It just kind of... Until the new format comes out, the standard format and WoD format gets sorted out, it's just going to be considered so strong. I just don't see how it's going to really change, to be honest. So, yeah, this is a pretty standard Secret Paladin play here. Secret Keeper into Shooting Minibot's great. Now, it is going to die, the Acolyte of Pain here, to Competitive Spirit and Redemption, if, of course, Izuel goes for this line of play, which I imagine you want to do this. Or you could actually Competitive Spirit and then muster for battle. You will get a massive amount of value actually on the AoE front, but you are playing heavily into something like Organized Soul Priest. But no, I think, yeah, I think Izuel... I think I actually prefer this play better. You do get another shooting mini bot, so you get 2 free frees with Divine Shields here. if they don't get touched. So yeah, I really like this play actually. Much better. Now what are we doing if we're racket side?
Oh man, I think it's both for me. All right.
Oh, is it both? Yeah, you might need to. We've had these issues before as well with a client, so that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So he has got the Arcanine Breeze, but he doesn't have the circle yet. So
Yeah, that's true. So this is also fine.
So not really he can do anything about it. He can't even flash heal because he doesn't have enough mana for that. So all he can do is basically draw the cards, yeah.
Yeah.
But now Isval has a very strong hand right here and board.
Yeah, so I mean, Muster for Battle, Noble Sacrifice looks pretty good. You do get to buff the Secret Keeper to become a 5/5. And then you could easily kill the North Cleric, which I think to protect the Divine Shields you kind of have to, right? If you want to really play around something like Light Bomb, which we of course know Racket does have. I know it's not going to be next turn, but the turn after that there'll be a Light Bomb. So I like actually protecting the rest of your minions by trading the 5/5 in, which, yeah, I think Israel respects that, and he's making that play, and he's going to hit face with the rest. So yeah, I think that was a wise choice there from Israel.
It was a very wise choice. Also, maybe he would play the Arcanine and flat shield Secret Keeper and hit one of the mini bots with Northside Cleric. So that would have been a play for him.
Yeah, so what are we kind of doing here? Let's see, we got
He could just Alderman the Arcanine and get rid of it, theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that.
But he could also just ignore it. But there is a chance that if he ignores it, it's actually gonna do a lot of damage and be very punishing for him if he gets a circle.
Yeah, I mean, even the so the secret we know now is Noble Sacrifice. Of course, after a minion being killed with the flash heal, Racket will know it's not something like Avenge or Redemption. So this Light Bomb could happen here. It wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing, but I guess Switch Belcher does also absorb some damage as well, so I do understand that line of play.
I suppose he first wants to get rid of that Divine Shield right there.
Yeah, and that Ragnaros though, that's an interesting card.
It's very annoying to get rid of, especially that even if you humiliate it or no matter what, it's gonna do 8 damage. So
I wonder.
and it's such a big card. 8 health is so much to deal with. The Light Bomb is very useful at that point, but he still has 2 more turns to wait for that. So we shall see if Racket's gonna use his Light Bomb right now, or is he gonna wait?
No.
The board is pretty filled for him, so I think he's gonna use it most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like this whole kind of line of trading that one in. Although I guess the Holy Nova, if there's a Holy Nova here, would be pretty punishing. You'd only have a 3/3 left. Or, of course, Light Bomb, because now your 3/4 does die, because you've managed to, do that round. But I think it's still the only kind of real play that was there.
Ooh, it's a back favor.
Wow, Blessing of Kings and...
Avenge.
Interesting, so he does actually go with it. Oh, okay. I think actually, no, I do like this.
I thought I was going to go for Haunted Creeper and Avenge, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think this is also really good, actually, when you think about it, because this forces out something like a Shadow of Death.
He still has a Noble Sacrifice, still.
Yeah, but not even that. If you look at his next plays, he's got Ragnaros and Tyrion. Like, using a Shadow of Death on a 7/7 would be so much value for Izuel, right? Because you force large removal on something that only costs 2 and 4, whereas then you play like an 8/8 and he's like, oh, whoops. What do I do now? I've just used my large removal, But that is going to be game, yeah.
Yeah.
there we go. So
He has nothing to do.
no, and so obviously that play did pay off. You know, that's a very aggressive play. He's all read the situation and realised that that was the play to make, and yeah, well played to him.
He knew he's not gonna make a comeback out of it because he would have to heal for so much to be able to survive a mini bot that's buffed to 7/7, plus also the Ragnar is at does 8 damage. So that was a very well played game by Israel.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we're getting. Oh, sorry, did you say well played by Israel? Sorry, it cut up there. Yeah, so that was a good game. So we do have. So it's now 2-0 for No Mercy up against Wunderstag. So of course off to a good start. But we have seen many series start with about, I think it was 2 wins and then easily switch over. So it can still kind of fluctuate and go either way. So. Still interested to see what the rest of the decks that we have to see from Wunderstag and No Mercy will be as well. But I can imagine there'll be some pretty interesting games still to come. I mean, the games we've had so far have been pretty close as well in some aspects more than others. But yeah, we'll just get an update for you guys as soon as we know who's going to be playing next. And then when we know, we'll of course let you guys know as well. So it's going to be...
Meanwhile, we could maybe say something about the teams.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, actually, no, we do have the information just come through now from our reliable source. So it's going to be 83650 playing against... and yeah, it's going to be playing against Anti on his Warlock. So we'll get ready for that one. But yeah, in the meantime, sure, yeah. So, I mean, basically, No Mercy. So we know that they're from Poland. And basically 83650 actually got top 30 in BlizzCon standings last year. So damn,
That's a pretty nice achievement. Yeah, and he was 2 times in top 10 at the end of the season, top 16 last winter preliminaries. So I think that's a pretty good score on his achievements.
He's a very, very good player, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can show us here, actually, because of course it's going to be his first game playing up for No Mercy. And as I mentioned as well, on the other side for Wunderstag, we do have Anti playing as well. So, you know, basically 2 very good players here. Very fast-paced games as well, by the looks of it. But Grim Patron Warrior versus Zulok, by the looks of things as well. So it should be one to look out for.
Alright, so what do we have here? It's going to be obvious, a coin and weapon. Or, yeah, it's going to be a coin weapon, alright. Because I was like worried he was dragging that Dread Corsair. I was like, oh, why would he do that?
Yeah, he can throw you off though, can't it? Yeah, like the Dread Corsair does throw you off though, doesn't it? You forget, like, obviously when you play it, you know, you get it for free, because obviously the weapon having 4 attack means it costs for free, so you can easily forget these things. But yeah, I mean, double Grim Patron in hand though for 83650 is pretty nice. So I can imagine there's going to be some, you know, some interesting plays coming up here with having double Grim Patron in hand. Of course, he has the Death Spite ready, so as soon as he wants to pop that piloted Shredder, if there's nothing with 3 or more damage, then, you know, you're going to have to see some counter plays coming out from Anti.
Plus, he also has Whirlwinds, so if he gets to the point with many Grim Patrons, it can be a really nice border full of little dwarves.
Yeah, I really like this play, by the way, from A83650, which maybe just call him A from now on, a lot easier. But I like this play from A, because, of course, he gets to do the Execute next turn to destroy a minion like the Piloted Shredder or the Sludge Belcher. But at the same time, he also gets a choice as well of perhaps a Grim Patron and also a Whirlwind as well. Excuse me. So, yeah, looking pretty good. But I really like this counterplay from Anti though. Wow. He's basically saying, "Alright, fine."
Going for a face.
Yeah, like, but I also really respect that. Like, he's saying, like, sure, you can put out all this damage, but I'm gonna try and kill you. And actually, if we look at it, wait, he has lethal next turn, right? Because he can either Leroy Jenkins doubles. Yeah, he can Leroy Jenkins Soulfire Power Overwhelming, which is 14 damage. So I think that's actually game already. I don't see any way for...
he has to...
Even if he armors up, he's still dead, because he has to attack,
face,
right?
So he even goes lower.
Doomsayer? No.
No, it wasn't Doomsayer. That could have saved him.
Yeah, so Doomsayer could have saved him, but that is game, right?
It's game, I think, yeah.
Wow.
At this point, there is not much he can do.
No,
he can trigger it, but he takes 3 damage in the face, so even if he somehow gains some 5 more extra health, he'll be still dead.
Yeah. Wow, and that was actually a massive turnaround, and yeah, well played from Anti there, obviously realising that he has a lot of that damage, and that is the power of this new Zoolock deck, really. So...
And he even got 2 power overwhelming, so he doesn't even have to Soulfire.
Wow, so well played there from Anti.
That
Damn.
was very well played, yeah. That was a very quick game.
Yeah, that was extremely...
Shellsman just mentioned, yeah, this game can just like turn around any second.
Yeah, it really can. Because it's so... You know, if the Grim Patron gets on the board, then a lot of the time the Zoolock does struggle to then come back in because they have no real decent AoE most of the time, unless they have like a tech card, like a Hellfire or something. But yeah, basically that was just proof there and then that the Zoolock still has the ability with the Dark Peddlers to be able to push for Soulfire damage or Power Overwhelmings and just really like melt people down before they can actually even get on the board in the first place. So that is going to be 2-1 now, actually, to No Mercy. So Wonderstag getting a game back there. Finally getting a point on the board, which is going to be obviously good for them for morale and everything. So they've got to be happy with that. And yeah. So yeah, game on, basically.
Anything can happen still.
Anything can happen. I wonder if we're even going to see Murloc Paladin. Do you think we're going to see one? Or... Because we still have one more Paladin from... We have a Paladin from Joker, right? So do you think he could be one?
Yeah, Joker has a Paladin.
So it could be anything. Just saying.
We shall see. I would suppose he's gonna go secret though. We all know how like overpowered the secret is. You know, deep inside we know. We don't talk about it that much, but it is OP. Alright.
Okay, guys, so we got Gianni Druid playing, well, Druid against Anti on Rogue. So, yeah. So, of course, Gianni Druid already won with his Shaman deck. So, if he wins with his Druid, then he is actually finished for the series and he won't have to play any more games. That'll be a big relief for him. And I imagine with the name Gianni Druid, with Druid in his name, he has played a few games of Druid and he has the Golden Druid portrait. So, yeah, I imagine, you know, as most players here, they're quite experienced in what they've played in. But Anti with Blood Mage, it looks like a pretty standard kind of rogue deck here. I imagine it's going to be Violet Teachers. Perhaps it could even be Malygos Rogue. I mean, we'll have to see a few more cards until we can know for sure what type of rogue deck it is. But these are pretty staple cards with a Zerdrake.
Could be.
SR, yeah.
Do you think it could be an auto rogue?
Yeah, so there could be an auto rogue in there, like, yeah, pretty.
This guy's toast.
Something along those lines. But this is not an amazing hand for Gianni Druid. At turn 4 and 5, he's going to start getting some good stuff. But right now, he's kind of a bit sad with these. I mean, coin swipe does not
You could
really
coin
achieve.
swipe. I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, if you coin swipe, then you can't then skip to turn 5 if you want to play the Azure Drake. So, do you just have to hero power and suck it up, and then use the coin to get into the next stage a bit quicker, or?
I would just hero power at this point. I would rather save the coin and be able to either pick if I want to silence something with the keeper or do damage with it, or if I want to coin out and get an Azure Drake, or even the Druid of Claw, perhaps. Depending though if he wants to use it for the combo or not. That's really depending on what kind of play he has. He could also wait with a swipe, hope that maybe he has some, I don't know, gang up or something, anti, and be able to kill those off with a swipe later on. Because so far, anti doesn't really have any other play either. We'll see when he draws a card, if he gets anything. But yeah, you could basically just dagger up and shift, but I don't think it's worth it. It's better to keep it off and just use it for some minion when he plays it and he needs to do that 1 damage.
Yeah, so I mean, it's turned out, of course, this play has been pretty decent after all, to keep the coin. I think I was a big fan of that in the first place, not only just because it doesn't allow you to skip the extra turns, but if you look now, they've got so many more possibilities with this coin. I mean, keeping that swipe, I suppose he's top deck double swipe now, so this is really good to be able to clear the board. Because you want to keep the board empty as much as you can against a rogue, but perhaps having coin to Dr. Boom is going to be extremely strong here against the rogue.
Definitely. Dr. Boom is kind of card you really want to go for as soon as possible with a druid. If you don't play the kind of deck where you get the extra mana early on, then it's better to keep. If you can't play anything early on and make the coin valuable at that point, it's better to just save it up. And if you have the Dr. Boom in your hand, just save it until turn 6 and coin it out, because it's such a valuable card.
No, I completely agree. I mean, coin Dr. Boom is just so strong against so many decks. I mean, Sap, sure, you can return it back into his hand temporarily, but then you really need to develop a huge amount of board here, which... let's see, so... I think Sap, you could eviscerate
You could
for
eviscerate,
5.
yeah.
Which is still a play as well. You could Blade Flurry eviscerate.
Questions.
Yeah, so I think he's going to do that and hope that the Azurbeck doesn't die, which it doesn't die. Interesting.
And if it died, it wouldn't matter since it's a combo, but it's better off, of course, if the minion is on board still.
Yeah. So... yeah, so I imagine here basically you've got something like, I mean, Azure Drake, and you could actually Wrath and for like 2 and draw still against the Azure Drake as well. Because then you're basically saying you need some kind of Tinkers and some other play. Yeah, so he is going for this play, I think. I really like this. So Wrath for 2, because then you get to draw a card and still kill off the Azure Drake, which is pretty huge to stop spell power. And on top of that, Anti's going to have to start now worrying, of course, because there is a potential for combo, you know, with the innovates, and we've not seen any innovates yet from Gianni Druid, so... But this is huge! Gadget Zan into prep, into saps, all this card draw. And this has been a massive swing in tempo for Anti here. And I think we're going to have to see... Let's see.
He'll maybe be forced to.
This is actually. Can he kill? Wait. I don't know if he can even clear the board
I
here.
think he's gonna. He can clear it.
No, I don't think he can, because if he Force of Natures, he can't actually Savage Roar, because that's 9
that's
mana.
a wild growth. That's you can get it still.
Yeah, so I think he might be dead here, unless. I mean, I'm trying to. Druid of the Claw, you can only play that, and then what else can you do? You can Savage Roar, but that doesn't do anything. So unless you Druid.
Down, that's.
Yeah.
He's off that 1 mana. That 1 mana. This is gonna cost him, I think, this game.
Yeah, so of course, Anti's going to take this game then, by the looks of it, because of course we can see Deadly Poison and Sinister Strike in Anti's hand, so yeah, well played to Anti there. Unless, of course, somehow magically Anti misses this, but I don't think Anti's going to miss this. So.
I don't think so either.
And there we go, so yeah, well played to Anti. And Wonderstag, now it's 2-all, so yeah, even it straight back up. As I was saying, it's pretty... Yeah, these series can really come straight back and, you know, even themselves out straight away. So well played to both players there. Anti is actually now, funnily enough, finished already, and I believe this is the fastest time for anyone to finish a series by winning with both their classes this early on. So
yeah, and it's even 2 games in a row. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so really well played to Anti there. Obviously showing that he is a very strong player, and you know, doing his bit there. Still 2-2 though, so it's still all to play for. But of course, it's just going to be Racket and Joker now to carry on with Wonderstag and see if they can turn it around and come back with a reverse sweep, perhaps. Okay guys, so just remember as well, there is a 10-minute delay on this stream, so anything we do say now will of course be 10 minutes behind, so just yeah, bear with us and stuff. But we are getting these games, like the game information for you guys as soon as we can.
Alright, so we have coming up, we're gonna have a druid versus a druid fight matchup, so it's gonna be interesting. So as we started earlier, we've mentioned a 83-650. We can somehow introduce the rest of the team as well. So we have Jenny Druid, who's ended up in top 16 at Sea Story Cup 3 and at the latest PGL Tavern Tales as well. That's on the Team Mercy. Then is Iswell, who has ended up top 16 in IEM Katowice 2015 and top 32 DreamHack Valencia 2015.
Yeah, so that's really good finishers. Yeah, like all of these players basically here have obviously proven that they deserve to be doing well in this tournament and earning their spots in these teams. So this is definitely, I'd say, one of the best series I think we've had this season so far in the group stages. Probably my favourite to cast so far as well, because there's been a pretty big swing in games. But not only that, but their ladder finishes as well. I mean, you can see that pretty much all of them are like doing extremely well in ladder currently. I mean, just right now, for example, I mean, Racket is what I believe he's 85 legend right now. And even Johnny Druid, who's also playing, is also still, like, you know, he's also legend rank as well. So they're all playing plenty. They're all experiencing what strong decks are out there at the moment and just doing their bit basically. But yeah, it's really wow. Okay, so this game started up quite fast actually. So wild growth from Gianni Druid, so he'll be happy to get a bit of ramp early on. Could you see something like the coin party trotter here, do you think, from Racket? Or okay, hero power is also fine. So not going my play. I'm not going to be bitter about that. I'm not going to be sad about that or anything.
It's not gonna be your play.
No. Oh no, wait. Sorry, it'd have to be innovate. Sorry. Yeah, I thought he had 3 mana. My bad. He could. I guess he could have just played. I think. Oh, I see what he wanted to do. Ah, and he's not going to be able to do it now as well. So I think mind control tech is also still fine here, but I know what he wanted to do. If there wasn't a innovate lower feb there, he wanted to innovate coin Emperor Forison. Yeah. That would have been a really strong, yeah. That would have been huge. So that lower feb was pretty strong there for Gianni Druid.
Well, I can do it now, but
no.
That low feb there was a
okay.
play by Gianni.
Okay, so he's gonna.
I think he's gonna Living Root.
Yeah.
Just trade it off, yeah.
This is still also pretty strong. I mean, of course, Raph does really destroy the Emperor as well. So this is a pretty strong board now from Gianni Druid. Of course, the Ancient of Law next turn as well. So 16 health at turn 6. Turns out that's pretty good, in the words of Kriparian. So, yeah. This could be an early win, like a pretty fast win for Gianni Druid at this rate. Of course, double Savage Roar here would actually be lethal as well, right? Like 2, 4, 6, 12 plus 6 is 18. Yeah, double Savage Roar would be lethal here. So I would like to see Gianni Druid not bother trading and just keep going face here. Because Racket's the one who needs to be on the defensive here.
He can just keep going face. Like right now he is set up for lethal. Like clear lethal even if he trades off. So that was really good play for him. He should probably go for Force of Nature to clean up. At this point be more like defensive Force of Nature, not an aggressive one.
Yeah.
Did I say offensive or defensive?
No, I think you said defensive.
Okay.
I was actually.
For a second, I was like, did I say offensive?
No, I think you said. Oh, no, well, that's not going to save him, but it is a 2/3, and there's a lot worse cards. I think the Force of Nature though has to happen here, and of course that is game, right? 2, 4, that is delete, yeah. So even with the Force of Nature here, that is still lethal for Gianni Druid. So, unless, no, that's definitely still lethal. Yeah. Okay. Well, still well played there to both players. That was a very fast one. Obviously showing that the wild growth. Yeah. But the wild growth is just so strong, isn't it? Like getting that off early and just ramping through that fast. But yeah, there we go. So, and that's another win, and that's actually a win now for No Mercy. So No Mercy obviously going to be quite happy with that, because they were obviously 2-0 up. Then Wonderstag brought it back 2-2, and then now they've got their win back again. So it's now 3-2 in favour of No Mercy. So Gianni Druid is now finished. So he's finished his series because he's won on his Druid and Shaman. And then we have Iziol on the Warlock, and then we also have A83 who still needs to actually win with his Warrior and Mage. So I mean, they must be feeling pretty confident right now. You know, they've also now got a player that's finished their series, so it's down to 2v2 essentially now. So it'll be interesting to see which kind of decks and which classes we see next as well.
I wonder if it's gonna be the Paladin versus Warlock. That could be an interesting gameplay.
Yeah, so it could be Paladin versus Warlock next.
Since Joker still has his Paladin up. And
Okay, so it's actually going to be Izuel on his Warlock next.
so yeah, it's gonna be the Warlock, and let's see if it's gonna be Joker.
Okay, so let's have a look.
It's gonna be Racket.
Oh yeah, so it'll
So
be
it's
yeah.
gonna be
Yeah, so it is going to be Racket again. Yeah, that's right.
I must protect the one. Your soul shall be mine.
Okay, I think I had a slight bug there for a second. Hopefully it's going to... Yeah, there we go. It's fixed itself now. Okay, so... Yeah, Racket's standard combo druid here. Oh, it's Reno Jackson Warlock. It's your favourite, Annie.
I'm sorry. Yes.
What are you... What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at chat again?
Yes.
Oh god. Why?
Uh-huh.
See, I don't understand.
Because they're speaking here in the chat, and they're like, first they thought I'm a 13 years old, maybe boy. I'm not sure, because they said, like, I don't want to break it to you, but it might be a 13-year-old, according to the voice. Well, I found really funny. And then they found out, they checked my channel, they found out I'm actually a Slovak girl, and I speak Hungarian, so...
I see.
And they're like, oh, these Slovaks.
Wait, you're telling me there's girls on the internet? What? All this time, I didn't know these things. Okay, so...
I like to sexually identify myself as a 12-year-old boy. Just saying.
Just saying. Don't we all?
On the
Don't we
internet,
all?
it's a safe place.
Yeah, that's true. You're pretty safe if you say you're that, so yeah. Okay, so what are we going to see here? Coin Innovate Dr. Coin Innovate Dr. Boom is pretty nice. Turns out
That's
it's
a great turn for 4.
Yeah, standard turn 4 play Dr. Boom here as a druid, but this is where the warlock here just says, oh okay, I matched that with Power of a Woman, and yeah, good night, sweet prince.
I like how you said sweet prince.
Well, you know, it's like, I've never been a massive fan of the fact that druid can just skip mana turns, so I'm always happy to see when it's dealt with properly, you know. Nothing against either player, it's more the class I think is very, very strong, but... okay, so pretty good clear up here. I imagine the Druid Claw is going to come down with Taunt. Pretty standard play, I think. Yeah. Oh, ooh.
I would actually go for a charge. Yeah, I like his play. I would go for a charge too. Just, you know, like, kind of get him. Because he has the combo in his hand. You know, Force of Nature and
He does, but
Savage Roar.
But it's only turn 6. So, unless he had, like, you've already seen a coin and innovate as a warlock, so you're not scared of, like, double innovate or anything now. You're, like, you can only do
but
one
you
innovate.
never know. He could have. You know, he could have.
No, he can he can only have one innovate, so that would be 8 mana, so that wouldn't be enough for Force of Nature and Savage Roar.
Oh, I don't mean like right away to the next turn, but he could have like in hand. Or he could top deck in next round.
Perhaps. I mean, I guess this, well, the standard play here, of course, would be just a tap Reno, right? Like, you want to get back to 4 and you get another card draw, so pretty huge to be able to do that ability right now.
Well played here.
Well played, yeah.
Not allowing that
Wait.
Force of Nature.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess I also like this as well.
Because
I
he can
mean-
Reno right now.
Yeah, that is true. And he could defend her then, because that becomes a 5/7, which is huge. So yeah, I guess I like that. So what's the play here then now, Annie? What do you think? What would you do in this situation? I like drawing here. Do you live in roots for one to kill off to 6/2? I guess you do.
I
I think I like that play. I mean the whole situation with the oh wow, so there's Leroy Jenkins. Wow, so that's gonna shut down a lot of stuff.
I was thinking if Force of Nature would have been more valuable at a point if he didn't go for Ancient of Lore to clean up. But actually, I think this was a better play for him. Drawing cards.
Drawing cards, it does turn out, is pretty nice. It's a good thing to do. But this Emperor here, though, is
He
going to be
could
huge.
Emperor now and gets a huge value.
Yeah, like insane.
Maybe that's what he was digging
value.
for.
Like insane value beyond belief. I mean, of course, we can actually see Leroy Jenkins abusive and combo. Which wait, is that lethal? Because that's going to be an 8/2. 2/8/2s is 16 damage. 16 damage for 9 mana plus whatever's left on the board. So that's massive amount of damage. So if he leaves 4 points of damage on the board, then that's game. So he has to clear this, but well, he has to kill. Okay, so he kills. Oh, I like that. Yeah, this is much better. Much better.
Can just implosion right now.
And get implosion for 2. Or
Hopefully not. Well, she'll see.
oh wow, that's
But
such a
yeah.
good implosion. Yeah, standard implosion
The
for like
value.
4. Yeah, that's the implosion my enemies always get, and I always get 2. You know, Baby Rage. Okay, so
Now is why it would be really useful.
yeah,
But
but you're actually dead. Like, if you do this, you are dead. And obviously Racket wouldn't necessarily know this unless he sees it Leroy Jenkins, but Leroy Jenkins' Abusive Sergeant Faces is lethal. Still, because it's 18 damage. So he only needs 3 points of damage to win. But without like something like a swipe, then yeah, he just die. So that's game. And I imagine Izuel can see this as well. Of course, playing that kind of combo deck, he must know that he has lethal here. And it's a shame as well, because if this wasn't the case, then you know Racket could potentially turn this around now and get lethal himself. But yeah,
get out.
So-
He still has the annoying taunt in there, but he can get rid of it now if it wasn't his end right now.
yeah. So what you do here is you wait, what? No, I think he missed lethal.
I
Yay!
actually can't see the cards right now, so I don't know how much does Leroy cost for him.
Leroy's cost 5 mana. He had the
It's still
Abusive
cost-
Sergeant
yeah,
for
it's still cost
3,
5.
and then he had Faceless Manipulator for 4. But Faceless Manipulator and Leroy Jenkins was 9 mana, but plus the Abusive Sergeant. So I think yeah. So is he all miss lethal there? So I'm kind of surprised that yeah. So he did miss lethal, because if he would have... I think perhaps he notices this now, I'm not sure, but... You definitely don't play the abusive anymore. Because abusive Leroy Jenkins would make it an 8-2, right? So you see where I'm coming from that, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you face this manipulator Leroy Jenkins, so you get 8-2s. So that's 16 damage. So, yeah. That was miss lethal there. 16 plus, yeah.
Maybe he hasn't noticed that there's the faceless manipulator. But wait, maybe I have enough because it's 5.
No, it's
faceless.
the abusive
No,
is 3.
5.
It says
It
on
says
my...
on mine that's 5.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
On my screen it says 0 and then 4 for faces.
It
Wait,
says for me that abusive is 1 and faceless is 5. Maybe it's just bugged for me.
Oh, is
then.
it bugs? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I already had to
Okay.
restart again because I couldn't see his cards either. So I like restarted, and that's what it says right now.
Sorry, I thought it was like a... Wow. Okay, I need to rejoin then. Let me just rejoin
I think you
this.
might be right. Maybe you're correct, but for me it said 1 and 4. 1 and 5.
Yeah, it still says that the mana cost. I think it was reduced by Emperor Forison. Yeah, so...
Maybe just
and he's
bugged my
making me
end again.
paranoid as always. Yeah. But
No,
no,
I said it's probably bugged on my side because
yeah.
you said it's been emperored.
Yeah. But yeah, we do see the damage starting to come down again here. Hopefully Izior will see this next turn and you know be able to push for the damage for lethal.
I think if that point Racket wins, Iswell's gonna be just fail fishing himself, you know, and he realizes that he actually had lethal and he missed it. I would be so pissed at myself for like missing lethal. I'm like very critical about that when I miss it.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those that I guess when you're playing a combo deck, it really does help to you know be aware of these kind of things. Of course, Force of Nature plus double Savage Raw now is actually, so the standard one is 14. Plus then you've got more on top of that as well. Now, of course, we do see. Does he see this now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he sees it now. That's fine. Yeah, it's really close, but yeah, well played to Izior there. Racket almost actually took that one back. I think because there was perhaps like maybe a potential miss lethal there, but that, you know, these things happen. It's a tournament. You know, games are very close and so on. But yeah, well played still to both players, and yeah, well played to Izior there as well for taking that one.
He won anyway, so I think that's what matters for him. Maybe he was just teasing us, you know? He saw the lethal, but he decided that he's gonna wait.
Microphone activated.
Yeah, sure.
Microphone activated.
So,
Microphone muted.
let's see. So coming up next, we have 83 playing as a warrior and Joki as a mage. Joker was playing earlier Freeze Mage, and A had a priest gameplay. So I'm actually interested in what kind of warrior he's gonna play. They're still hanging in the menu, so we shall wait for them to start the game. Meanwhile, so Sheldon says the warrior was a Green Patron warrior earlier, so we should expect that, I suppose. Also, let's introduce a little bit the Team Wonder stag, played by Racket, Isuel, Racket, Joker, and Anti. So Racket had 2 top 100 ladder finishes, some national top number ones. He's a huge priest player, as you could see earlier, but he was not lucky to win with that priest in the series.
Microphone activated.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Right. So
And my microphone cut off. Feels bad, man.
Okay.
So what I was saying while the microphone was muted for some reason was that Anti attended national tourney where he achieved first places and won top 25 and ladder finish in 2015.
Ah, okay, nice. Yeah, so that's what I mean. They're all like really good players. Like they've all shown that they obviously know where they're coming from, and they're doing their bit. You know, they're really doing well in these tournaments.
Very slightly. We could hear the crybaby a little bit. But it wasn't so distracting.
Activated.
Yep, that's baby raging, baby raging. Yep.
It's a capital P.
Microphone
So
muted.
883 and Jerky are entering the game right now.
Garrosh versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Victory or death.
So we have the Green Patron Warrior on A83's side, and we have a Freeze Mage on Joker's side.
Microphone activated.
Interesting matchup.
All right. Okay, so I'm back now. So what have we got? We got the Grim Patron from A83650 against Joker's Freeze Mage. So typically, if this was a Control Warrior, I would say it's definitely more in favour of the Control Warrior. But because it's actually Grim Patron, obviously we know there's some really good AoE clears here for the Freeze Mage, like the Flame Strike, which instantly takes out any kind of Grim Patrons. You've got the Frost Nova Doomsayers as well, which are really good unless there's an Execute or something, because of the high health. So yeah, generally this one's actually a bit more favoured for the Freeze Mage rather than the rather than its other counterpart of the Warrior. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this game goes.
I think he's gonna play Doomsayer next turn. Let's see what he draws.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Doomsayer kind of to freeze the warriors' power right now. I
Um,
don't think anything else.
I mean, you
I
could.
can barely see the cards again.
You can.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, you need to hover over it. So I mean, you got Acolyte of Pain, like, which isn't necessarily terrible as well. But how many cards? So the Freeze Mage has 5 cards actually in hand right now. So if you play the Acolyte, and actually then the Freeze Mage could get milled. So I guess in this situation, you don't want to necessarily play it then. Like, I think you just want to stick to the standard kind of path of perhaps an early Doomsayer to kind of, you know, clear this board. So yeah, I think Doomsayer is fine here actually. Double Doomsayer. Right. Okay.
The double Doomsayer.
That is actually a really smart play, double Doomsayer. Because of course he has the Flame Strike, so he can even coin Flame Strike later if he has to. But this just means now that there's no card draw for we'll call him A8 for the sake of it. I mean, coin Emperor, this is massive for Joker. And you're going to have to see something like a Death Spite Execute to shut this down. This is really big. And already we see a really commanding lead from Joker here. So, yeah. Execute.
There goes the Execute.
But Joker's going to be pretty happy to see an Execute and a weapon hit take out that Emperor. Because, of course, one single reduction in mana cost is massive for a Freeze Mage class.
So I would say he's gonna draw cards and play an Accio at this point. Unless he draws something better to play. Since he still has 4 mana. But I have to restart my game because it's bugged again, sadly. With the mana costs and the cards. So 1 second.
Oh, maybe, I think I may have actually maybe missed that one earlier. That combination. Yeah. My bad. Okay. Alright, I stand corrected. I think I was 1 damage off potentially then. In my situation, I thought there was a situation though where he only needed 3 damage.
You mean with the Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah, I'm in the previous game still. I'm just checking with chat. Yeah, 10-minute delay obviously, guys. So, yeah, basically, I think there was a moment where I'll hold my hands up and say I think I was actually wrong. So, but I'll have to just go over that a bit in particular later. But anyway, back to the game. So, what we're gonna see here. Acolyte of Pain, Armor Smith looks pretty nice. It does of course get cleared by Flame Strike, but I don't think Joker's going to be... Oh no, okay, so no Armor Smith. I don't think it's too bad for him to Flame Strike that. Although we still don't see any patrons from A8's side actually here at the moment.
I'm still trying to fix the game to be able to see all the cards.
Blizzard
There we
client
go.
is of course too strong, as always.
I changed into Joker's side instead because he has the more cards and it's easier to just hover over a freeze cards now for me. So, and it actually worked. It's not so bugged. So
Yeah.
let's see. He could first ball to 3/4 and ping it. It's not 4 mana, so it's 2 mana, and then perhaps play the Accurate of Pain or the Loot Warrior, but I think the Accurate is better play.
Yeah.
As he has to trade off the enemy. AAP gets a card, but he gets a card too in return. Oh, he actually didn't have time. He ran out of time to play the Acolyte, or maybe he didn't want to.
I mean, to play the Acolyte, I mean, the Acolyte is kind of one of those where he's got 8 cards at the moment, right? So if he did play that 7, perhaps he was thinking of some kind of form of million. I don't really know. Or it's also more triggers as well for the Grim Patron if he manages to get to stick. But again, I don't think that's his biggest fear because of course he does have the Flame Strike. So
I don't think it's worth flame striking right now. I would not.
I wonder.
I think if he like wants to freeze this lane, he should go for either the first Noah or for the Cone of Cold. Definitely should not Blizzard because it's not worth it right now. Plus, you can
Yeah.
play another card with it.
I wonder.
The weapon in A's hand is really strong as well. Because he can basically simply kill off Coyote. So he just draws one card. Unless he pings it right now, and then gets the value of 2 cards out of it. Which he seems to be going to do.
Yeah, I think I like that. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be drawing here. I know, of course, a Frothing Berserker gets buffed for 1, but you're not too worried about that Frothing Berserker because you're hoping to get it cleared soon anyway. So I think Death's Bite, perhaps here, you really need to start getting on the board at some point. Drawing more cards, because even Battle Rage only actually draws 1 card here. So, and of course, you've still got to understand that you are against a Freeze Mage, so they're going to have a heavy amount of burst, so unless you can start gaining a lot of armor, then you are going to be in a lot of trouble as well.
Since he has 2 minions on board, Armor Smith would be really good if he could trigger that Death Bite as well. But he won't be able to, as if he gets Death Bite right now off and attacks him, is something going to trigger the Death Rattle. So he can't do that to be able to get the value out of Battle Rage and Armor Smith to the fullest. I think probably next turn he's just gonna Slug Belcher and Armor and that's it, and just wait for perhaps. I actually thought he was gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like this board as well. It does say that, like, if he wants to start Flame Striking, perhaps he's trying to make a Flame Strike happen earlier, because, of course, when you're playing against a Freeze Mage as a Grim Patron Warrior, you need to make them use their AoE and actually clear out the board as soon as possible, because then you want to start developing your Grim Patrons, and you don't feel safe developing Grim Patrons until you've seen at least 1 or 2 forms of AoE, which I know sometimes you have to burst and use them, make them do it anyway, but this is quite a strong board right now. Like, Frothing Berserkers, we've just, even by themselves sometimes, can easily rocket in damage and get through blocks and stuff quite fast, so
It's out on me.
you know, Joker might have to start considering more AoE here, so I think this is why he's done this line of play really more than anything.
What to do?
Okay, so that is really nice as well. So this is for free is huge. Now we will see more of a Battle Rage value here. You're going to see 3 card draws actually from Battle Rage. And actually we could even see... Do we see potential... Do we see a potential Gromash, or is that too early?
Blood and plunder.
I think he's not gonna go for it.
No. I do understand that.
I'll go for the weapon, yeah, because he has 2 of them. So if he manages, he can trigger Gromash next time. Not right away next time, but the turn after. Or
Yeah.
he could even replace later on just the Death Bite with another one if he really wanted to trigger it. Or with Fury Axe even. If he went Gromash, Fury Axe for whatever reason, he could trigger that. Not really worth it, but could happen.
So Ice Barrier's pretty strong here.
Mind if I roll knee?
I think 8 user is just gonna low sub.
Yeah, so if there was a ping there... interesting. I guess he's decided to just let the 1-2 stay up, that's fine as well, but You could have pinged the Sludge Belch to freeze all the minions if you wanted to freeze the minions. And then, do you see what I mean? You could do that then, Frost Nova, but I guess he just wanted to ping the Dread Corsair instead. Because the next turn he can, of course, ping that off as well and kill that. Okay, so Loatheb is a pretty nice card, especially when you're playing against Freeze Mage. But there's the Archmage onto Nidus.
There's the Archmage, yeah.
Damn. However, we see from A8, of course, the Fireball as well. So, I mean, so the Fireball, the Execute. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead here. It's been a long day. We could see a potential. We could see Archmage. We could see Ice Lances.
He has to make the Archmage very valuable though, because we know that A3 has an Execute, so he can just easily kill it off with the Execute next turn if he decides to do that.
Yeah, that is true. So I suppose this line of play makes it a lot easier. If there was perhaps a Frostbolt drawn, because then you'd be able to just freeze the face, so then you'd have to either see a Grommash or a spell used to then trigger the damage
He
to
could
then do the
Ice
execute.
Lance. If
Yes,
he wanted, he could have Archmage and Ice Lance his face and Fireball, for example.
but I guess with that play, you're not using the damage for Ice Lance here just for a spell to gain a Fireball, which I think when
It's
you're
kind of
playing,
a waste for a Freeze Mage.
yeah, exactly, because you're playing as having a 0 mana 4 damage if you've already frozen them is pretty huge for doing burst and combos, so I think it's better to just stick with this line of play. I think this was the correct play.
Even though he still has the Power Blast, that's 10 damage.
Yeah, so there's that armor going, but you've still then got to get through to the 28, the rest of the 28 health he's got. So yeah, some pretty tough decisions. I mean, we do actually see here though 6 cards from Joker's side, and then 10, of course, from A8. So Joker is actually going to start fatiguing as well first. So we're going to need to start seeing some form of damage soon, perhaps from the Alexstrasza or something along those lines. But either way, if you are Joker, perhaps now this is the moment where you start to feel a lot more comfortable. I'd really like to see a Archmage Frostbolt and Ice Lance here to get 2 Fireballs, and of course apply a bit of damage and pressure as well onto A8's face, basically.
What to do?
I think that's the best thing he can do right now.
Yep.
Because 2 Fireballs as a value of Archmage is a really good one. I don't think you can get like anything better out of Archmage at this point right now, to be honest.
No, that's it.
He can't get the secrets to trigger the Fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
He has the Ice Block for 0 mana, but he already has 1, so he would have to be real low to get a trigger and be able to play it again to get that one. But that's not gonna happen, as he is still at 31 HP with the armor as well. So here he can also play the Dread Corsair if he wanted to, because it's for free, but he chooses not to. It's clever, because he could just Flame Strike.
Yeah, I mean, there's only going to be one other threat, I suppose, now left in the deck. We see two Fireballs, but then you've got to start taking fatigue into account. And of course, the 8 armor compared to the constant armor gain from the warrior, unless he can deal with the board, is going to be something that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, actually. I think A8's playing this game very, very well indeed, actually. A lot better than I thought, actually, at once as well, because he knows there's still a Flame Strike in Joker's deck, but at the same time, we've still not seen Alexstrasza, and there's only 2 cards left. And on top of that, you've still got a Loot Hoarder from Joker as well, so he's even further into his deck before it, without him even knowing it. So A8, of course, being 6 cards, or 7 when you see the Loot Hoarder eventually being played, basically means that Joker's actually on a massive clock right now.
What to do?
So, from what it seemed like, it's definitely going to be in the favour of the Freeze Mage. Now I think it's actually switched around quite a bit. And holding on to that Armor Smith as well, which we were saying earlier, is actually proven to be pretty huge as well, hasn't it?
What to do?
It is. Let's see. He's most likely going to trade it 2-2 into Gromash. Or no, he's actually just going to freeze it. I thought he would trade it, but no, he's just going to get rid of that armor here. I suppose he's really hoping for that Alexstrasza next turn to get him low.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in some ways as well. So there's the Alexstrasza. And of course, when we see this Alexstrasza come down, what are we going to... So, 9. You've got 3 Fireballs and a Pyroblast in hand.
What to do? What to do?
So yeah, we're going to see the Alexstrasza. I mean, it's a very late Alexstrasza. Of course, Joker's not going to be too happy about seeing it this late. However, you know, better late than never, I suppose, is obviously the way to look at things. Now this is also pretty huge. We can of
With a
course,
whirlwind.
yeah, whirlwind as well, and then of course we get to see the trade-off as well for the Gromash. Because of course we need to see this Alexstrasza die. Although I suppose you could actually just execute here and keep that Gromash alive. Yeah, I guess it has to die. Or just save the execute something in case something odd comes out. But
So there are 4 Grim Patrons right there, right? Because it doesn't show me one of them, I think.
yeah, so there are 4 Grim Patrons on board with an Armor Smith and a Dread Corsair. Of course, we can now see Joker's actually fatigued here, so he's actually out of cards, and we still have 6 cards from A8. And we do know that one of those 6 cards is another Grim Patron as well, so Joker's actually in a lot of trouble here, so he's going to have to Flame Strike this board. But then, yeah, okay, I guess he's realised already that is game. So wow, well played from A8 there to take that one against Joker. A very long game, of course, going to fatigue. But A8 taking that one with his Grim Patron Warriors, of course, he's going to be really happy with that one. And now, is it just...
I think if I counted correctly, at like 31 damage in his hand.
Is that right?
Or he had 31 HP, the armor, and plus he could still go out. So I think he had
Yeah.
35 damage. Wait, I think he had 4 fireballs, the pyroblast. I think that's it, right? Else he only had the freaking flame strike.
Yeah, so of course as well, even with the spells being cast, there is of course you can't cast them all in one turn, and then you've got
Yeah.
you know, the Armor Smith doing a lot of work, and yeah, there was so much to take into account there. But of course, well played to both players again. It's going to be Joker playing on his Paladin next, and then of course you've actually got A8 on his mage, because of course Gianni, is it Gianni Druid? Gianni Druid, yeah.
Gianni.
Gianni. And then of course Iziel won on his Paladin, and Iziel was the one who also won in the Warlock as well. That's right. Or was that Anti on his combo one? No, that was Iziel, wasn't it?
Izuo won on the Warlock.
Yeah,
Gianni won on his Shaman.
Yeah, no, I was just checking because, of course, Anti's Warlock was the Zoo, whereas Iziel's was the Leroy Jenkins. So yeah. So basically, they only need one more win now on No Mercy. So this is for match point. So if they win this game, then No Mercy have won already. Because right now it's, of course, 5-2 to No Mercy against Wonderstag. So, yeah, this is all to play for. And it's Tempo Mage. Oh, I love
This was
Tempo
the
Mage.
longest match of the night.
Yeah, for sure. That game was a very long game. It did. I mean, it did go to obviously fatigue. So yeah. Okay, so coming Mezzarthys. I imagine these games are definitely going to be a lot faster. You know, Tempo Mage is all about tempo, so I can't imagine there being a lot of stalling out in this game. We could just see ping trade here, depending on what the secret is. Oh, we need to spectate other side. Okay, apparently my client is bugged, so apologies about this, guys. Have some issues with BattleNet here, so there's nothing really much we can do about this. There we go, much better.
A is like thinking though, is it a get down? Or what kind of secret that is though? Because it could be, and then he's gonna lose his med scientist to but luckily for him it wasn't. It was a really good play by him.
Yeah, that's it. So A8 of course taking that risk. I think you have to take the risk as well in this game, in this match especially. I understand that these things can happen, but if it does, then you know, so be it. So coin redemption, interesting.
It's a very valuable thing if they're with a knife juggler.
Yeah, that's true. Dragonhawk Rider, wow. That's a pretty nice. Well, considering it was get to play for free with a ping on top, actually, these could be pretty useful, and with arcane missiles. So, damn. This could be spelling out danger for Joker right now, actually. I would like to see the Knife Juggler here, and then perhaps trading the Haunted Creeper into the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and see if you can get lucky enough.
And
But
hope for that knife and the freaking Sorcerer's Apprentice.
yeah, I think you have to go for this
Or
play as well.
girl.
Oh wow!
Reporting for duty.
Is he gonna get it?
No. And this kind of spells a bit more disaster actually as well, because you're going to see the arcane missiles, and we know there is an Avenge actually still to come. Wow.
Whoa.
So the Avenge are going to go down, and then a one... Oh no! Wait! It summons it back. Does it kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice? It, it does kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I suppose at least he gets the... you know, the Pited Shredder here. Of course, there's a bit of banter then flying after that. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Okay, so we could see Frostbolt and trade in the Spiderlings and then duplicate as well. No, I guess not going to go for this play. Ooh. Not so amazing here for A8.
Frostbolt paint trade.
Yeah.
And you skip a turn, I guess.
Yeah, skipping a turn here is fine, because of course you're going to make them trade if they want to. As the Secret Paladin here though, this is just going to be a flood the board turn, I guess. But yeah, not a massive clear, funnily enough. So, you know, A8 still doing alright to Holden here. Could of course been a lot worse turn 6s, like for example Mysterious Challenger would have been pretty strong. Wow, and the arcane missiles again. Could be huge here.
With the Azure Drake,
Yeah,
the extra 1 damage.
an extra missile. How many shots are going to be fired? Wow, that many. So, Dr. Boom though, that's pretty nice. You can see the Azure Drake die here if you want to trade in the 1/1 and then use your weapon as well, which I think you have to do. You could try and push for more face, but Azure Drake can be pretty scary if it's not dealt with. Interesting that he doesn't... Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, and that's a pretty nice draw as well. So
And that was
A8.
the glory of Dr. Boom.
Yeah. So yeah, A8's getting some pretty nice draws here as well. See how this Boombot goes. Face, of course. Face is the place.
Can we get some smoke in the chat? In 10 minutes, please.
Yeah, smoke for the chat, please. But 10-minute delay, of course.
Reporting for duty.
Ooh.
Oh, there's Dr. Boom.
Okay, mine just froze because of that play.
So, he's on the right side,
Yep.
frozen.
Yep, good old Battle.net client, freezing as always. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rejoin this one again, guys. Okay, so it turns out there was a trade with a Boombot,
Reporting for
and the rest are going face. Okay. So these Arcane Intellect's gonna be pretty good here. Oh wow, the Archmaid looks pretty good there as well, but of course we know it's not that.
He's not gonna get that flame cannon value. No, he can't risk it.
So the Noble Sacrifice is going to absorb this. Next turn, the Archmaid and Duplicate can come down, actually. And then more damage can come down. Secret Keeper is a pretty dead card here as well, so
reporting for duty.
Joker's not going to be too happy with these. He would probably like something like a Tyrion instead.
You require my assistance.
Ooh, the Arcane Blast.
Wow.
That's actually so much better.
Yeah, that is really good draw. But yeah, this reverse turn, and that's... Wait, so that's going to be 12 ping. That is lethal. Yeah. Because no matter which one you trade, if you try to do a 5...
Justice demands.
It doesn't matter, because he's gonna get another fireball.
duty. Well played.
yeah, so he gets double fireball, and then that is it. So yeah. And that's going to be wrapping up that series, and that's actually going to be No Mercy taking the whole series against Wonderstag. So, yeah, well played to both teams, and that is going to be it. So, wow, what a series. But yeah,
Very
damn.
well played by both teams.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's any kind of... What was your favourite game, I suppose, of the whole... I mean, it's obviously a long series, so what was your favourite game that you can really remember? Don't point out the one where I missed lethal. Because that was pretty...
Honestly, I really enjoyed the Shaman versus the Freeze Mage. It was a quick one, but I like Shaman. I like aggro decks. It was just a really nice game, I think. Exciting one as well. That was the Joker versus Gianni Druid, where Gianni actually won with his Shaman.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think that one was fun. And maybe the Anti-Warlock versus 8 Priest. That one also.
Yeah. So
Both
both...
games were really quick.
Yeah, so they were both like really quick games. Those ones were like the aggro ones were really quick. I mean, that game wasn't very long actually either as well. It's over pretty soon, I suppose, by turn like 10, wasn't it, or turn 11? So obviously compared to the Freeze Mage game, that was over like after... Well, it's Fatigue, wasn't it? So obviously a really long game that one was. But yeah, I guess that's going to wrap it up. So obviously thanks to everyone for stopping by, tuning in as well. Of course, 10-minute delay, guys, so there will be... If you guys ask something in chat, it'll be 10 minutes delay. Obviously, big thank you as well, Annie, for co-hosting with me tonight. Obviously, I know it was a last-minute thing. I only asked you today, didn't I? So
Yeah, you asked me like 3 hours before.
yeah, well, you know, what can I say? I wanted to keep you on your toes, so Yeah,
You like to improvise.
yeah, I like to improvise. That's it, So yeah, I do appreciate that. So yeah, guys, make sure to check out Annie's Twitter and her Twitch page as well. So I'll link that, of course, in the chat in a moment. Obviously, it's going to be a 10-minute delay and stuff, but I'll link that in there. So make sure to check her out as well. I'll link my Twitter and everything as well. And yeah, of course, big shout out to Piggie League as well. Of course, that's a tournament. What's going on at the moment, guys? I'll make sure to link the brackets in the stream as well, so they'll be in the chat. So make sure to scroll up because it's 10 minutes ago. I would have put them. So that's all the games, all the matches that are going to be happening or have happened. And of course, soon we are going to be getting into the finals, like the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final stages as well. Usually, of course, Ball Control does cast these tournaments, but he was busy tonight. That's why he wasn't able to stream with us. But yeah, it's been really, really fun having you on the stream, Annie. So I hope you've
Thank
enjoyed.
you very much.
Yeah, I hope you've
thank
enjoyed
you
it.
for actually inviting me. I was very rusty first time doing it.
No,
Honestly,
it's fine. It's good having.
Yeah. I still have to improve if I want to try this one again. I'm glad I tried it though. It's a nice experience. I thank you very much for inviting me. I would like to congratulate the teams again.
Yeah, definitely well played to both
Those
teams.
games are very exciting. Quick pace, except for the one, but it was actually pretty exciting to be in this position, to be able to cast it.
Alright, so
I would like to wish much more luck in the future to these two teams, and thank you once again for having me.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. So yeah, like I said, finally to wrap up again, guys. Yeah, check out the brackets and everything. Check out the Twitters and the Twitches and everything. And thanks for stopping by. And I guess we'll catch you all on the next Piggie League stream. So that'll be next Monday. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled on Twitter and Twitch and everything. And have a good one, guys. We'll see you all later. Take care.